Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Former Cowboys starter signing with Bills and free agency, report. The Dallas Cowboys have yet to find a proper replacement for Tyron Smith, and now a familiar face is off the table in free agency. While it seemed unlikely that La'el Collins would stick around for the 2024 season, the tackle now has a new home with the Buffalo Bills. Bleacher Report insider Jordan Schultz reported the signing on April 4. Breaking: free agent OT La'el Collins is signing with the #Bills, per source. Collins has started 86 games in 7 seasons with the #Cowboys and #Bengals, Schultz wrote on X. Source: it's a one-year deal worth up to $6.25 million for La'el Collins and the #Bills. Collins had at least one more suitor, but chose Buffalo with the hopes of winning a Super Bowl. That's a sizable deal for Collins, especially considering he did not make a regular season appearance in the 2023 season. Now, he's joining another AFC contender with the clear intent of winning. As for Dallas, the left tackle position is still a question mark. Tyler Smith could shift to the outside spot after impressing at left guard, but his success as a guard might not be something to disrupt. The Cowboys turned heads last January by re-signing Collins to their practice squad after his regular season stint with the Bengals. While he did not see the field during the Cowboys' playoff loss to the Green Bay Packers, it was still clear that the two sides are amicable. It makes sense, considering that Collins was a key cog during his initial 6-year run with Dallas. He started 71 games over that time and made $67 million over his 3 contracts. However, Dallas had a plethora of offensive line talent. So entering the 2022 season, the Cowboys attempted to trade Collins before deciding to cut him. That led the former LSU Tiger to the Bengals, where he impressed in his 15 starts. Unfortunately for Collins, a brutal ACL/MCL tear in Week 16 cut his 2022 campaign short and all but wrecked his chances to play in 2023. He recovered enough for Dallas to add him to the practice squad, but it still did not work out for Collins to get on the field. A look around the mock drafts online will tell Cowboys fans that there are plenty of different approaches the team could take. One of them would be drafting another top OT prospect, something Dallas has had consistent success in doing. And for OL scout Duke Manyweather, any option that doesn't move Tyler Smith over to tackle is the right one. The Cowboys shouldn't even consider moving Tyler Smith, Manyweather said on X. It would be a huge mistake for the OL and for Tyler's continued development. He's a special OG. I'm not moving a guy who is special at a position to another position he may just be okay at, then have to fill the position he left that he was special at. How does that help your OL? In his second season, Smith was named a second-team All-Pro member and 2023 Pro Bowler. Stephen A. Smith discusses Texans trade for Stephon Diggs, ridicules Cowboys. While the discussion was about the Houston Texans trading for Stephon Diggs, sports media personality Stephen A. Smith found an opportunity for a sideswipe on the Dallas Cowboys. The straight shooter author jested America's team during the April 3 episode of ESPN's First Take. While Louis Riddick was talking, Smith said, "You know you're missing the big headline?" Riddick asked, "What's that?" "The big headline is, there, Texans, probably the best team in Texas," Smith said with a grin, as shared by Awful Announcing on X, formerly Twitter. The Texans only gave up a 2025 second-round pick for a wide receiver coming off 6 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons and 4 straight 100-reception campaigns. In addition to getting a 2-time All-Pro wide receiver, the Texans regained some draft capital by getting a 6th-round pick in 2024 and a 5th-round pick in 2025. The revamped Texans roster has Smith fired up for a showdown between the two teams based on the Lone Star State. "I don't know if it's on the schedule, but I'm hoping it's Houston against Dallas." down in Dallas, Texas. So what's going to happen with those Dallas Cowboys is they're going to sit up there, and they're going to monitor this situation, Smith delivered in his best impression of the Southern accent. While the game schedule remains unknown, the Texans will face the Cowboys this season. In addition to their AFC South Division rivals, Houston will face AFC East and NFC North teams. Therefore, it would be high drama when Diggs faces his former team, the Buffalo Bills. Last season's Offensive Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud, will face reigning Most Valuable Player Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, and two-time defending Super Bowl champion quarterback Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. But it's another thing entirely when you ain't even the best team in Texas. They've got a younger quarterback, they have the better coach. And, excuse me, and these brothers ain't going to cost $60 million against your cap right now, Smith added. After trading for Stefon Diggs, who carries a $19.5 million cap hit, the Texans still have $10.8 million in cap space. It's enough to sign their 9 selections in the 2024 draft, barring any additional trades. Houston struck gold with Stroud, who will count for only $8.2 million against the cap. Meanwhile, Nico Collins and Tank Dell have a combined 2024 cap hit of $4.6 million. In contrast, Dak Prescott will count for $55.4 million against the Cowboys' salary cap, while CeeDee Lamb is in his 5th-year option worth $17.9 million. Reverting to the headline about Diggs going to Houston, Smith pointed out his impact in every stop of his NFL career. He was in Minnesota, he was clearly the best receiver. Like you, Riddick, pointed out, Josh Allen elevated when Stefon Diggs arrived. The brother is a difference maker and a game changer, Smith said during the same First Take episode. Diggs finished the 2023 season with 107 receptions, 1,183 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Pro Football Focus gave him an 81.1 grade in receiving, and he surpassed that mark in 4 games. However, there's a caveat to his performance: he never had a 100-yard game again after Week 6 against the New York Giants. He struggled against teams with elite defensive secondaries, as proven by his 27 receiving yards in Week 11 versus the New York Jets and 24 in Week 14 against the Chiefs. Besides occasional dips in his performance, Diggs has been among the league's best receivers. Smith sees this as a positive for a budding star like Stroud. Wherever he goes, quarterbacks looked better. And C.J. Stroud was looking big time without him. So, imagine what C.J. Stroud is going to look like now. Look out for the Houston Texans. During his rookie season, Stroud led the league in passing yards per game, 273.9. He completed 63.9% of his throws, 319 out of 499 attempts, for 4,108 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. The former Ohio State standout added 3 rushing touchdowns out of 167 yards. Dallas Cowboys could make run at $118 million, former Pro Bowl QB. The Dallas Cowboys have several question marks surrounding their plan at the quarterback position for the future. The Cowboys were rolling again in the 2023 regular season with Dak Prescott, but yet again, with the season on the line and legitimate expectations for a Super Bowl run, Dak and the Cowboys lost when it mattered the most. Last year truly felt different. Prescott was in the discussion for NFL MVP this season and closed out arguably the best regular season of his career. Dak Prescott closed out the 2023 regular season ranked in the top 5 in several major categories for NFL QB. He entered the playoff matchup against the Green Bay Packers with 4,516 yards, third, 36 touchdowns, first, 9 interceptions, and a QB rating of 72.5, second. Although some rolled their eyes when Jerry Jones and company decided to fire Kellen Moore at the end of last season, as he's regarded as one of the up-and-coming young and brilliant offensive minds, head coach Mike McCarthy took over play calling and the Dallas Cowboys offense looked elite for the majority of the year. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Dak Prescott? Leave your opinion in the comments.